Hello there, good afternoon and a warm welcome. This is Nationwide and we are live on Africa's largest television network, the NTA. I'm Rhoda Anonam. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the extension of the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme (VADS) to June 30, 2018. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President, Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that the short extension after the original March 31 date is based on the appeal of professional bodies and individual taxpayers. It adds that no further extension of the time will be approved after June 30. And that fresh executive orders will be made to give legal backing to the new timeline. VADS is one of the key policies being used by the federal government to reposition Nigerian economy and connect inherited underdevelopment. President Muhammadu Buhari, the statement urged taxpayers to use the extension window to perfect plans to prosecute those who fail to regularize their tax status. Now, Nigeria, alongside France, Argentina and Romania, have been elected members of the Global Steering Committee of the Open Government Partnership, OGP. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, announced this while addressing newsmen in Abuja. Lami Ali reports.
The Open Government Partnership is a multi-stakeholder global initiative with membership covering 75 countries, which focuses on improving transparency and accountability at all levels of government through citizens' engagements. The role of the steering committee, which is the executive decision-making body of OGP, involves developing, promoting and safeguarding values, principles and interests of the initiative to ensure sustainability. The President Buhari administration in 2016 joined the initiative with the submission of the National Action Plan to further deepen the reforms put in place to confront corruption and block leakages of resources. The minister, represented by the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Dayo Akpata, reiterated the resolve of government to promote citizen inclusion by ensuring access to information to foster the culture of openness and participatory governance.
As the only African country that will be on the OGP Steering Committee during our tenure, we shall continue to uphold the ideas of open government through regular sharing of experience and cross-fertilization of ideas among other countries.
As of last year, the President appointed 3 auditors to audit every account that is related to asset recoveries. And again, this underscores the fact that the government wants to deal with any issues arising from asset recovery.
The election of Nigeria into the Global Steering Committee less than 2 years after joining the Open Government Partnership further attests to the global recognition of the present administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and being responsive to the needs of citizens. In Abuja, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Ministry of Defense says the federal government remains committed to the attainment of internal and global peace. Minister of Defense Mansur Mohammed Danali stated this while receiving a study group from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
These are among the 6 study groups of Senior Executive Course 40 from National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, just on a visit to Ministry of Defense. This tour is to acquaint the group with the knowledge of organization, role and activities of Ministry of Defense and security management of the country.
To eventually discuss what we've been doing as a ministry. And I believe they have heard what we've been doing, what the armed forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria have been doing in terms of aid to civil authority.
The participants, of course, will make their presentations. Eventually, this will go, of course, into what we call the Pali presentation to Mr. President in November this year, So it's part and parcel, of course, of the evaluation, policy evaluation role, of course, of NIPS in relation, of course, to the key statutory policies.
With the theme Internal Security Management and Community Policing, the tour is expected to give insight to the group on how to strengthen strategic institutions in the country. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Now, daunting as the challenge of bridging the gap of housing deficit, the Nigerian Navy has reiterated its commitment towards providing befitting accommodation for its personnel to boost their morale. This was by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, at the inauguration of the Nigerian Navy Officers' Quarters in Abuja. Olajide Bello has the details.
One of the compelling developmental objectives in the Nigerian Navy Transformation Plan 2011-2020 is instituting affordable housing ownership scheme for its personnel. Therefore, the 7 blocks of housing units is to provide shelter for 66 personnel of the Nigerian Navy.
This is a clear indication of the Nigerian Navy's resolve to speedily alleviate the burden of inadequate living quarters of naval personnel working in Abuja and its environs. I sincerely hope that this new accommodation will boost the morale and operational efficiency of benefiting personnel, thus contributing positively towards our collective resolve to enhance improved maritime security and nation building.
The Navy has intensified its efforts at building barracks accommodation, particularly here in Abuja, in areas such as Asokoro, Karishi, and Kuje, amongst others. Similarly, efforts are ongoing to provide accommodation in various locations across the country.
While commending the federal government's continued support, the Navy is appealing to be accorded more consideration in the intervention project of the Presidential Committee on Barracks Rehabilitation. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Minister of Science and Technology Ogbonnaya Onu has pledged Nigeria's cooperation to technological advancement in Africa. He gave the indication when he received a delegation from the African Union Commission for Human Resources, Science and Technology in Abuja. Victor Azu reports.
This meeting is necessitated by the need for Nigeria to play her part in achieving the African Union Agenda 2063. It is a strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the continent over the next 50 years. The Commissioner for Human Resources, Science and Technology of the African Union Commission, Sarah Agbo, therefore leads this delegation to the Minister of Science and Technology to solicit Nigeria's support for the African Union Scientific Technological Research Committee in Abuja, which is driving the achievement of Agenda 2063.
There is just no way we can talk about the Africa we want, the vision of Agenda 2063, the vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own competent and skilled citizens, and able to play in the global arena. That can only be done through science, technology, and innovation.
Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, pledges Nigeria's support.
We're changing our own orientation. We're moving our economy away from a resource-based economy to a knowledge-based, innovation-driven economy, so that in the years to come, our economy will be less dependent on commodities.
African Union Agenda 2063 builds on and seeks to accelerate the implementation of past and existing continental initiatives for growth and sustainable development. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Now, Nigerians have continued to applaud President Muhammadu Buhari's declaration to run for another 4 years in office. This time from discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program Tuesday Live, describing the decision as apt in deepening democracy and building a better Nigeria. Talatu Ezirike reports.
Nigeria, many say, had a booming economy anchored on integrity, transparency, hard work and patriotism. This, they say, was bastardized with issues such as corruption, embezzlement, bad governance and impunity, thereby giving rise to rancor, agitations and insecurity. Interestingly, they say the present administration is tackling the challenges.
It's not before Buhari. I don't know if they bury money for toilet, so I like him. No matter, I said at the trek, I get it before, but I don't care. Let this country be good, make my children enjoy. That's why I like him to come.
The changed narratives many believe speak volumes of good governance that has taken Nigeria out of recession, with favorable ratings by World Bank and the success stories in the fight against insurgency and corruption.
You go around the country today, you see roads being under construction, roads that were abandoned by the previous administrations. Now we are doing something, and you know how? With the least resources. We are very satisfied, extremely satisfied with the performance of this president, that we are going to vote for him en masse.
There is no other group, political group, that has the capacity, the reach, the spread, the capacity of the All Progressives Congress to move this country forward.
For others, there are much more.
I stand to say that this is the most massive critical infrastructure development in the annals of Nigerian history.
He's a firm leader, and he listens to the voice of the people, and he will not do a thing, even if it is going to hurt him politically or personally, if he believes it is right.
Various schools of thought believe that even critics will agree with the fact that the present government has done so much, especially in revamping agriculture for food security, for growth, through programs and policies that has saved the nation of billions of dollars in its exploitation drive.
Coming with various legislative interventions that will stand the test of time, like the issue of encouraging youths to embrace agriculture. We would like to seize this opportunity to commend Mr. President for assenting to the bill on the National Agricultural Land Development Authority.
The issue of the Anko Borrower program has achieved success. You know, before now, we were just depending on rain-fed agriculture, but the Anko Borrower program has placed more emphasis on dry season farming.
Land ownership, there is a lot of liberalization now. We can expand the cultivable land.
And a clarion call.
Our policy is simple. We will produce what we eat.
It has been observed that Nigerians are in for better social contract. Talati Ezerike, NTA News.
And to ensure that the legacies of zero tolerance to indolence and corruption in the public service is sustained, the Buhari Support Group Center is calling on Nigerians to overwhelmingly support the president's second-term bid. Director General of the body, Umaru Abubakar Dembo, said this during a media briefing on President Muhammadu Buhari's declaration to seek a second term in office. Oku Ekbayang reports.
The group reeled out achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2.5 years in office, to include improved security and electricity, growth in agriculture, as well as massive infrastructural development across the country. Director General of the Buhari Support Group Center, BSGC, Umaru Dembo, urges persons who are opposing Mr. President to support the popular desire of Nigerians to give President Buhari time to complete the good work started.
We in the Buhari Support Group Center are convinced that by the time our dear President finishes his second term in office, he would have had the template for good governance in Nigeria planted.
It is government of the people, by the people, for the people, and so on. So that is what Buhari is trying to do. He's not doing it to do it for the elites.
We believe it was time to come. Nigerians will appreciate, will be happy, will be much more happier than now.
And about age, we have given it to the youth before. We have seen their performance, and he's doing more better. And we, due to the level of job he has done so far with his running mates, vice president, I think they are doing a good job.
The Buhari Support Group Center is committed to the legacies of the president with a view to mobilizing the people to vote massively in his favor in 2019. In Abuja, Oku Ekbayong, NTA News.
Standards Organization of Nigeria beefs up effort in quality control as well as custom anti-smuggling drive. We'll get more details now from our Lagos Network Center, where we have we join Elizabeth. Elizabeth, it's over to you.
Hello, Rhoda, and a warm welcome to Lagos. In line with the anti-corruption crusade on the ease of doing business in the country, the Standards Organization of Nigeria has inaugurated a surveillance investigation and monitoring unit with certified standard officers to assist in carrying out quality assurance services aimed at reducing the influx of substandard products into the country. The government's effort towards harmonization of standards within the African region and the world at large, aimed at reducing substandard products, is beginning to yield positive results. This is evident with the inauguration of a surveillance, investigation and monitoring team charged with the responsibility of gathering information on life-endangering products. The team is to provide periodic data on reduction of fake products and report same to the Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria. The Director General, Osita Aboloma, said the unit was formed to promote effective service delivery as well as assist Nigerians get value for their money.
It is to safeguard genuine manufacturers and importers of goods and services in Nigeria. So we have to prevent the influx of substandard goods into Nigeria to prevent unfair competition with law-abiding citizens in Nigeria.
Isa Sulaiman is the coordinator of the team.
With the key agencies in Nigeria that deal on information, and that is the Customs Service, the police, the Department of Security Services. So that has been established at the topmost level of management, and we've been given directives with terms of reference.
The surveillance, investigation and monitoring team is expected to commence collaboration with the Federal Operations and Pre-Arrival Assessment Report.
Well, sorry for the mix-up there. We'll try and see how we can get back to Lagos much later for more reports. Now we'll take some messages. When we come back, we have more news, so stay with us.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Now, you can hold that dream occasion without stress. Horizon Caterers will provide answers to all your catering questions. Exquisite hall designs, mouth-watering and nourishing local and continental cuisine, suitable for all types of ceremonies, including weddings, AGMs, business luncheon, cocktails. Name it, we can bring it. Our chefs and executive waiters give your guests that unforgettable experience in service. Our service covers all states of the Federation. Call us today to book your occasions. 0805-502-9637, 0803-450-9726, 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers, experience catering beyond the horizon.
Don't we just love our jolly, easygoing keke riders?
But alas, many of them are also worse than a bone in the throat.
I go beat you, give you a gogoro drink.
Troublesome and completely disobedient of traffic laws and other road users. What is responsible for this?
Did you drink this morning before coming out?
6 small shots.
Yes.
The rib-cracking comedy takes a look at a day in a typical Keke rider's life. In this episode, titled Anthony Keke.
Keke riders, for crying out loud, always check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Keep a date with us as this episode premieres season 6 and laugh like never before.
Hey, dear, you want fight for woman? Woman will not even like you. It remains why we shall give her 500 naira now. The woman will just agree me.
Over and
Brought to you by Glow.
The largest data network, Glow Unlimited.
On Nigeria's road to development, the contributions are not only in gravel, asphalt, and sand. Supervisors and community leaders are physically urging detractors and contractors to greater efforts.
We have a lot of benefits that we derive from this road that they are making.
We can't play games with any of those roads. Even in the race to progress, not everybody is winning. Join the Nigerian Television Authority on a special documentary on road infrastructure and the imperatives of development. Roads to Progress, on the network service of the NTA.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Nationwide. Now, more reactions continue to trail the official declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari to recontest for another 4 years in 2019 general election. This is from Lafia, Nasarawa State.
Declaration has long been anticipated by the people of Nasarawa State to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari wins another round of election so as to sustain the fight against corruption, revamping the economy and ensure security of lives and property. They say President Buhari administration will deepen good governance and democracy in Nigeria.
He has accomplished all his mission, and of course we don't have any regrets to vote Mr. President come 2019.
The election is depend on the will of God. God can give him another chance.
We have seen some level of decorum and sanity in public service.
It's making everybody to be economized, make people reduce from spending. So to me, on my own view, I want him to come again.
Similarly, at a stakeholders meeting in Lafia, they reaffirmed support to the president on the rescue mission of change.
Buhari is well on his way by the grace of God for a second term. Don't deceive yourself about it. It is going to happen by the grace of God.
They say the declaration is on time. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Enhancing of electoral processes through the deployment of technology is one of the antidotes that can guarantee the integrity of Nigeria's election. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria called for total inclusiveness by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in its quest to make fresh injections into the conduct of elections through the use of technology. Kunle Adeyeye reports.
The decision of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to make 2019 general elections ICT-based is premised on the resolve of the electoral body to improve the processes of election in Nigeria. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria want INEC to master the dynamics in ICT deployment, involve the stakeholders in achieving this process, and guide against saboteurs.
We can also look at, the larger political process where we can use technology in constituency delimitation. We can use technology, in getting to know how political parties behave, particularly their databases.
You must make the technology to do the back-end job, or if the man cannot perform it. So you have to look at the literacy level of Nigeria as deep penetration of IT.
Technology will advance our electoral integrity, but the attitude of the politicians themselves in doing what naturally happens when you introduce counter-technology.
Others called for change in people's attitude and collaboration between the Independent National Electoral Commission and other relevant agencies in getting accurate data.
And I would also, frankly, call on Mr. President, using the powers vested in him in the Cybercrime Act of 2015, to designate the electoral process, not just what INEC does, but the broader process as a critical national information infrastructure.
We try to synergize efforts and then to synthesize. This is mainly the role of the National Orientation Agency.
They all agreed that adopting appropriate technology will improve the credibility of Nigeria's electoral processes. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
Minister of Education Adamu Adamu has called for collaboration between government and the private sector to improve reading culture amongst Nigerians. This was in his message to the flag of the 2018 Readership Promotion Campaign organized by the National Library of Nigeria. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports that the theme for this year is sustaining lifelong reading culture for positive change.
It is no longer news that reading among children, youth and even the adult has deteriorated in Nigeria. What is, however, of interest is how to revive the situation, especially if the country wants to attain an appreciable level of literacy. In recent years, National Library of Nigeria has been working assiduously to revive the reading culture and create a sustainable environment for its continuity. Director of Sport Services, Minister of Education Justina Ibe, who represented the minister, said government, parents and teachers must find a way of encouraging children, youth and the public to imbibe the reading culture.
Sustaining a love like reading for positive change requires not only the intervention of governments, but also the collaboration of private sector operatives.
Reading provides you with profound silence and exposing you to good writing.
In Africa, statistics show that only Egypt and South Africa are highly ranked as book-reading nations, while Nigeria is conspicuously missing from the ranking table. This ugly trend must be reversed.
Reading is good for you and me. Have to read in the library.
Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Now, an empowerment scheme targeted at human development for the women folk, initiated by the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has been launched in Gombe. Correspondent Sarah Umar Adamu reports that under the scheme, more women will be trained in various vocational skills for self-reliance.
The empowered woman is powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. This is why women are trained in various skills to ensure that they are self-reliant and financially equipped to carry out their responsibilities as mothers. The Aisha Buhari's Future Assured program, flagged up in Gombe State, is aimed at enhancing the economic power and standard of women. The training of the women drawn from across 11 local government areas of Gombe State will be supervised by a delegation from the Future Assured program to ensure efficiency and effectiveness.
If the country can get people like the First Lady, surely women will be empowered.
Some participants expressed delight for the opportunity, assuring to engage others for multiplier effect.
On behalf of women here, I want to thank the wife of the president for considering the plight of women.
At the end of the 6 days training, participants will be given working tools, certificates, and take-off grant. In Gombe, Zara Umar Adam, NTA News.
More than 600 women from the Northeast region are to benefit from the Information and Communication Technology Empowerment Program to avail them with digital business opportunities and skills. The beneficiaries are undergoing the Digital Business Skills Acquisition Training in Dutse, Jigawa State. Ibrahim Sani reports.
The beneficiaries are being trained on how to use ICT for entrepreneurship development and business management at a workshop organized by the National Information Technology Development Agency. Program coordinator Mariam Lawan Godaba said the workshop is intended to boost digital literacy and create jobs to women and vulnerable groups from across Northeast region. She said the participants were drawn from the northeastern states of Bauchi, Gombe, Taraba, Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno, and appealed to them to make best use of the opportunity provided by the initiative aimed at fighting poverty through job creation.
We expect to see, to create, to bridge the gap of digital divide of women in ICT, and also we expect to see, to create self-sustenance for these women.
Before I was here, I don't know anything about computer, but now I can own a computer, I can write, send emails, do a lot of things.
The workshop is designed to be held in phases for the participants who are expected to use the skills acquired and contribute to the growth of the economy. From Dutse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
The National Gallery of Arts is partnering with the National Youth Council of Nigeria on ways of using art to transform and revolutionize the mindsets of youths in the country. Receiving members of the council in Abuja, Director General of the National Gallery of Arts, Abdullahi Moku, says the gallery is working towards encouraging artists to use their works to explore and push boundaries towards peace and unity.
Most countries of the world today, they are using art, tourism and culture as the major source of economy of their countries, and Nigeria cannot be an exception. What we intend to do, of course, we put it together with the youth.
At the Youth Council level, we are making efforts through reorientation and other programs that we've been doing over time.
The National Gallery of Arts, with more than 10,000 artworks in its custody, was established to promote arts and artists in Nigeria. You're still watching Nationwide. For more reports, we'll now link up with our Just Network Center, where we have Ruth. Hello, Ruth.
Good afternoon and welcome to JOS. A cross-section of Nigerians in Plateau State have expressed support for President Muhammadu Buhari to contest for another term in office come 2019. Ben Mitu reports that the respondents say he has the constitutional right to do so.
Many who support the president's intention said so far he has demonstrated enough political will to right the wrongs of the past administration and should be given another chance to continue.
To us, it means the democracy is being strengthened because a sitting president is submitting himself to go through the election. And we are happy and proud that Governor Simon Lalong is at the helm of this campaign, which has yielded fruit. And we will assure Mr. President of our support, especially the teaming party supporters here on the plateau.
People are entitled to their opinion. For somebody, so it's democracy. He can decide to come back, to say he's coming back. But it is our duty, our responsibility, you and I, to go to the poll.
Our democracy allows you to run for 2 terms in an office. So if he wants to run, what is wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with it.
He has the constitutional right to contest.
Well, this is just one thing, you know. I feel he can go for a second term.
While the conversation continued to play out in the political arena, respondents were unanimous in their call on the electorate to give the APC-led administration another opportunity to take Nigeria to the next level. In Jos, Ben Mitu, NTA News.
As part of their community development project, the Joint Group of Medical and Legal Aid of the NYSC has visited the Jos prisons and secured the release of 7 inmates. Kim Gotts reports that during the visit, the inmates received free medical treatment.
The members of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC Batch A, consisting of the legal aid and medical serious groups, carried their community development service at the Jos prisons, where they donated welfare materials, drugs, and payment of fines for 6 inmates. The representative of the Human Rights Commission gave a lecture to the inmate on the rights of prisoners and also a health talk on how to maintain good health by medical personnel. The presidents of the legal aid and medical CDS groups spoke about the campaign and what motivated them to carry out the outreach.
After so many visits to the prison, we find out that they need help, especially in their medical needs. So we just come together as a CDS group health campaign to see what we can do.
We've already made attempts to pay fines for 7 inmates and to the tune of 65,000 naira.
The inmates who regained their freedom were full of praises to the core members who facilitated their release. The event came to a climax with inmates being treated to free medicals. In Jos, Kim Goetz, NTA News.
Chairman Council of Ulama Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah wa Iqamatus Sunnah Sheikh Mohammed Sani Yahya Jingir has thrown his weight behind the NTA Jos annual Ramadan lectures. Sheikh Jingir made this known while receiving members of the 2018 Ramadan Organizing Committee in his office in Jos, where he called on the entire Muslim Ummah to support NTA's efforts. Binta Kaneng Mohammed reports.
The visit by the 2018 Annual Ramadan Lecture Committee is part of consultation and collaboration with relevant bodies that supports the program every year to enable the committee generate more contact and mobilization of funds. This year's Ramadan lecture is 9th in the series of the annual program aimed at creating an avenue to educating and informing the public as part of NTA's corporate social responsibility. Chairman of the committee, who is also Assistant Director News and Current Affairs, Sani Ibn Salihu, pointed out that NTA Jos has identified with the organization for its contribution towards peaceful coexistence and development in the state. The chairman later presented a letter of nomination for the National Chairman Administration of the Jubris, Sheikh Nasir Abdul Muhyi, to serve as chairman of the event. The National Chairman Committee of Ulama of Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah wa Iqamatus Sunnah, Sheikh Mohammed Sani Yahya Jingir, commended the NTA for its objective and unbiased reportage and appreciated the committee for identifying with the organization. The committee will continue to meet with other stakeholders towards the scheduled date for the program, Saturday, 12th May 2018. In Jos, Binta Kaneng Mohammed, NTA News.
And that's our package from Jos over to Ogechi in Port Harcourt for more on Nationwide.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. River State Police Command says it has recovered a total of 179 arms alongside 437 ammunitions in the ongoing arms mop-up exercise directed by the Inspector General of Police. Commissioner of Police River State Zaki Ahmed disclosed this while briefing journalists. Robinson Tede has details.
It will be recalled that on the 21st of February 2018, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, issued a directive to Commissioners of Police on arms control and mop-up of all illegally acquired firearms in the country. Consequently, the River State Commissioner of Police, Zaki Ahmed, says a constituted an 8-man task force which embarked on a statewide sensitization leading to the recovery of firearms and ammunitions.
Number of locally made pistols recovered 51. Number of English made pistols recovered 7. Number of single barrel guns recovered 33. Number of pump action recovered 21. Total number of cartridges recovered 227.
The Commissioner appeals to the public, especially those still in possession of illegal arms, to maximize the 21-day window period or risk prosecution. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
Still talking security, a week-long inter-brigade competition for corporals and below under the 6th Division Nigerian Army has commenced at the division's headquarters, Parade Ground, Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amadi reports that the best performing units and formations will represent division at the national competition.
The inter-brigade competition will have corporals and below soldiers drawn from 29 Battalion, 16 Brigade, 6th Division Garrison, 46th Engineering Brigade, and 2 Brigade, all of 6th Division Nigerian Army, participating in the week-long event. They will specifically compete in drills, weapon handling, physical fitness, obstacle crossing, and more. General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, represented by the Commander, 6th Division Garrison, Brigadier General Mini Bande, said the activities would further sharpen the skills of the personnel, alongside retraining them for service to the nation.
It is aimed at building physical, mental, and combat to 6th Division Sports.
The GOC charged the personnel to maximize the opportunity to enhance their proficiency in service. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Away from security, the United States of America says it will continue to support Nigeria's economic development through various programs funded by the Department of State, Agriculture, Commerce, as well as USAID. Key to this development support mission is the U.S. Consulate's Emerging Entrepreneurs Conference, designed to bolster entrepreneurship in Nigeria, with youth serving as a pivot to the nation's economic growth. Olongief Hamfis has the report.
The United States Consulate Young African Leaders Initiative Conference is organized with a view to keeping young Nigerian entrepreneurs equipped with relevant skills and knowledge to enhance their successes in the business world.
121 budding Nigerian entrepreneurs are being trained, mentored, and exposed to funding opportunities to make them stand strong and excel in their respective businesses, courtesy of the United States Consulate General.
Whether they are creating micro, small, or medium enterprises, entrepreneurs contribute to creating jobs and expanding economic opportunities.
For the River State government and conference hosts, the University of Port Harcourt, the program will further advance government's programs and projects, as well as educational initiatives aimed at building the capacity of youth in entrepreneurship and leadership.
There's need to explore ways to unleash the innate abilities of our youths of the Niger Delta region and to nurture them to passionately embrace their full potentials.
Leading business icons like the founder of Sahara Group, Tonye Cole, and CEO Emzo Pharmaceuticals, Stella Okoli, were among facilitators mentoring participating entrepreneurs at the conference. In Port Harcourt, Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
Well, that's a wrap from here as we rejoin Rhoda in Abuja.
Many thanks, Ogechi, for there for us from Port Harcourt. We'll now take a break. When we come back, we have more reports. Stay with us.
1945. My people, you fit be one of the lucky winners for the Niger for Russia promo, and you go fit watch the Super Eagles live inside Russia. This one no be joke. Wait till you need to be say SMS fly to 1945 or just dial *1945#. You don't enter be that oh. Oya, pick any option. You don't enter for the live draws where they happen every month. Reach June 2018 be that. No forget the more you enter, the more you go fit to win. And plenty consolation prizes dey boku for you to win This promo is endorsed by the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) and the National Lottery Regulatory Commission (NLRC). Papa Bomb Boy, Yaima, what are you waiting for? Load your phone and start to dial 1945. Now the number Each message now 50 naira shaking in money.
Available on MTN, Airtel, and 9 mobile networks.
You of all people know that Mexico is the last place on earth I want to visit.
Welcome to Maiduguri. You're welcome.
We have a quiet place we can sit. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, my office.
I thought that we had agreed no questions. Or do you prefer answers?
You call me a beggar when you're a thief. You stole my wife!
You think this place revolves around you? This is our life.
When you're blind, you feel like what you're looking for is out there, but you just can't see it.
Tell you something.
Don't think because you're giving me money that you can come here and talk to me anyhow you like.
The day he chose to abandon something I spent on him is the day I wash my hands. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Health Squally is a responsibility of both federal, state, and local government. And what we've done is to really sell this idea to the state government.
Whatever we eat can help our organs to work well, can also harass our organs to fail.
We need those hot teas that are brewed with spices.
As a blood donor, I see one of the things that is something that you give hope to another person that is in need.
Hello and welcome to Health Options.
Registration is now open for state and sports clubs to participate with free accommodation and feeding for athletes and officials on the basis of first come, first serve at the first National Grassroots Sports Festival, Sports for All, to discover sport talent, develop future world champions, and rejuvenate sports in Nigeria. Date 19 to 29th of April 2018. Venue, National Stadium, Abuja, packages A and B. This is an opportunity for state governors to mobilize supporters and fans for their state through broadcast sponsorship and for companies to promote their brand. For broadcast sponsorship, contact Angelo Peter I. Elosia, Chairman and Chief Coordinator, or Nick Onyisi. Organizers, Grassroots International Sports Academy and LOP Worldwide Television. Endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. Broadcast partner, NTA, the largest television network in Africa.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nationwide. Now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the present administration is determined to end illegal foreign travels and other social vices. This was his message to the presentation of two books authored by the public policy analyst Femi Adelagan. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Illegal foreign travel still appeals to a certain percentage of young Nigerians, despite the federal government's drive to reverse the trend. The 17-man presidential fact-finding mission that brought back Nigerians trapped in Libya has also been seeking recommendations on preventive strategies to reverse the trend. The initiative got a boost with the presentation of two books. The books focused on what you need to know about foreign travels and the value of information management in governance.
The solutions are right here, and some of those who represent the solutions is Femi Adelagan.
Representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation believes that making deliberate effort to look inward would bring out the ingenuity in Nigerians to tap from the enormous potentials in the diverse sectors of the economy. He recommended the books as must-read.
The books are very relevant to contemporary developments and topical and useful for those engaged in critical arts of governance.
Other speakers, including the wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, Mrs. Bolanle Olonishakin, all emphasized the need to nip illegal migration in the bud. Author of the books, Femi Adelagan, implored Nigerians to think more of what they can offer Nigeria rather than what they stand to benefit.
I'm passionate. I don't really know why about the present and the future of Nigeria. I believe so much in the fact that we have the potential to be great.
He enjoined the country's youth to be innovative and ready to make a difference with adequate information on the dangers of illegal migration and other vices as being provided by him. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Borno State government cautions parents over withdrawal of girl child from school. Mohammed in Maiduguri has more details.
Thank you, Rhoda, and welcome to Maiduguri. Residents of Maiduguri have joined in the chain of reactions by Nigerians over the declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari to recontest in the 2019 election. Jesse Tavida is here with their views.
It was a historic election in 2015 that saw an opposition candidate defeating a sitting president. 3 years in office, citizens of the most populated country in Black Africa awaited President Muhammadu Buhari's decision to seek for a second time on the platform of the APC party.
We are in our darkest hour. We had lost all hope of retaining our society. We were at the verge of being wiped out by the Boko Haram insurgency. Today, we are almost forgetting about the horrors that we went through.
This is what we are expecting from Mr. President, because he's the only president that will rescue Nigeria economically.
We are happy, especially those of us from Borno, because of what he has done. We want him to continue with the good work he has been doing.
We have been friends for long, not for now. By the time that he's come to presidency at 2015, we have been started to friend to him until he's going to finish his own 8 years.
We have seen President Muhammad Buhari is the only justice man in Nigeria who can rule Nigeria and bring back the lost glory of our dear country.
I support his decision, and all decisions that he took is very quite good and is for the interests of Nigeria.
Also expressing delight over the president's decision to recontest, the people prayed for his good health, success and prosperity, pledging their unflinching support for him. In Maiduguri, I am GSC Tafida, NTA News.
Parents of the recently school-enrolled children in Maiduguri have been warned by Borno State government not to withdraw their daughters from school for marriage. The state governor, Kashim Shettima, handed down the warning while distributing food items to the parents to feed their children during the holidays. Mohamed Goni reports.
Enrollment of the Fulani children, according to the governor, is to break the cycle of poverty and give a sense of belonging to the Fulani community, most of whom are now security guards, having lost their traditional occupation to the Boko Haram crisis. The governor called on the parents to allow their children resume school early for the third term in their new school, built to educate them in partnership with El Kanemi College.
For the parents, I want to admonish you against early marriages of these young girls. These young girls deserve to be educated, deserve to have meaningful lives, do not deserve to be carted away as chattels.
Education Commissioner Musa Inuakubo described the initiative as unprecedented and urged the government of other states to emulate the Borno State government in that regard. Director El Kanemi College of Theology, Dr. Mohamed Sani Idris, said that distribution of the food items was part of government's effort to give the children what they will miss during the holiday, and thanked Governor Kashim Shettima for his support to the less privileged in the society. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
That's all for our contribution, and it's back to Rhoda in Abuja.
Thank you very much. Now, pride is said to be one of the 7 deadly sins, but this for the Senate is not a characteristic that can be attributed to late senator who represented Katsina North, Mustafa Bukar. The legislator who passed away on the 4th of April was eulogized by his colleagues at the voluntary session held in his honor. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye brings us highlights of what a tribute-laden session to a true gentleman.
The valedictory session for late Senator Mustafa Bukar was the only order of the day, as is the tradition in the National Assembly. Senate leader Ahmed Lawan commenced tributes to the late legislator.
Let me urge the Senate to quickly and very expeditiously consider and pass those bills that our late colleague sponsored, so that they can be in his name and also immortalize him through those bills.
It must be put on record that he came to seek for educational opportunities for his people. And that is the man, Mustafa Bukar.
Even when
he was struggling with ill health, he still managed to come into the chambers to attend to issues relating to his people.
No one will come forward and tell you that he has had an issue with late Senator Bukar Mustafa.
It is our responsibility to move this nation forward. And Mustafa Bukar did his very best, and we should emulate him.
The same college, I was in Form 4 when he came to Form 1, and since then, we have been very close.
He has always been a citizen, and he remained a citizen until he died.
He is a reconciler. He is also somebody that is destabilized.
He never took advantage or show what I call authority arrogance.
I wanted to personally condole the president.
He was a real technocrat, very good, very sound. And you could see that in his contributions, very cerebral, and also had a lot of ideas.
Perhaps the most telling characteristic of late Senator Mustafa Bukar was his humility. This was a man described as highly intellectual, versatile and cerebral. And despite all this and the fact that he represented President Muhammadu Buhari's constituency, he never flouted this nor took advantage of his relationship with the president. Indeed, he has been described as a true Nigerian who has the interests of the country at heart. He will surely be missed, and as a special tribute to him, 2 of his critical bills will continue in the legislative process with a view to ultimate passage. From the National Assembly, I'm Dennis at Digunloye, NTA News.
And now sports.